Where does insulin come into weight management? Because I think it's an important hormone that we have.
Yeah, well, insulin is the master metabolic controller hormone. I mean, barring none, it's by far the most important. We mentioned leptin earlier, but the fascinating thing about leptin is the hormone that says you're full. So people might tend to think, well, leptin's the controller. Well, the reality is that people that are very much overweight have very high leptin levels. We used to intuitively think, well, they would be low, but they're very high. Well, it turns out that insulin causes leptin resistance. So insulin actually blocks leptin.
So leptin says, insulin, you can't work very good. So if the insulin is not doing its effect, what happens to the hunger?
Well, again, that's exactly where you know, I mentioned earlier that the biggest problem in our food supply is way too many processed carbs. Well, when we eat too many, our body produces too much insulin, and we get what's called insulin resistance and build up large amounts of insulin. Therefore, then the large amounts of insulin are going to be there to block the leptin, and your brain, now imagine you've got all this leptin being produced because there's too much fat, yet your brain is telling you that you're starving to death.
So these hormones can fool the brain.